powerful banks in the city. They wore fine dress every day, drove fine cars, and were respected by everyone who saw them. They weren't just rich, they were obsessed with wealth. Money wasn't just part of their lives. It was their identity. It was everything they lived for. But like many things in life, the success didn't last forever. One year, due to corruption and mismanagement, the bank collapsed. It shut down overnight, and the three men lost everything. Their jobs, their homes, their status, all gone in a flash. They went from luxury to poverty, from power to survival. And soon, they were just like any other struggling man on the street, hungry, desperate, and broken. Days passed, and things only got worse. They had no food, no shelter, and no one who cared about them anymore. Then one day, while sitting in shame by the side of the road, they were approached by a well-dressed gentleman. This man saw their suffering, listened to their story, and without asking for anything in return, handed them a large, heavy leather bag. Inside was more money than they had seen in years. Kelvin, Robbins, and Silas were shocked. They held the bag tightly, their eyes wide with disbelief. With trembling hands, they rushed home and sat around the bag of money in silence. They didn't even touch the coins. They just stared, each of them imagining what they could do with it. But as the minutes passed, something darker began to grow among them. Greed. Kelvin stood up and offered to go out and buy food for them. The others nodded in agreement, trusting him. But as he walked through the market, the excitement of having money turned into a wicked idea. He thought to himself, if I poison the food and the others die, I can keep all the money for myself. He smiled to himself as he bought the food and secretly laced it with poison before returning. Meanwhile, back at home, Robbins and Silas weren't as trusting as they seemed. They sat close to each other, whispering in low voices. "What if we kill Kelvin when he returns?" Silas said. "Then we can share the money between just the two of us." Robbins agreed. Their minds were already darkened by the thought of riches. When Kelvin came back with the food, he acted normal, smiling, placing the bags in front of them. But before he could sit down properly, Robbins grabbed him from behind while Silas pulled out a kitchen knife and stabbed him. Kelvin collapsed on the floor, blood on his shirt, shock on his face. They thought they had won. Pleased with themselves, Robbins and